What's the number one challenge for businesses today?
Workforce development, attracting, recruiting, and retaining people.
And that's why we created this podcast, designed for the frustrated CEO, the under-resourced recruiter, or the overworked manager, to give you the tools to tackle those WTF moments.
It's time to open another Workforce Therapy File.
And welcome back to Workforce Therapy Files. Today we've got a treat for you. We've got some questions, and we're going to call this the Rapid Therapy Round.
Ooh.
Jamie, Jason, are you guys in?
I'm in.
It's been a while since we didn't have a guest.
It has been.
I'm excited to spend some quality time with you guys.
We're guests with each other today.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. We'll get to know each other a little better.
That's right.
Yep. Okay. So there's 7 questions. Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
We're going to each take a question. Answers go around. Next person question. Sound good? Everybody got it?
Thumbs up.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Jason, one workforce myth you want to kill.
That employer branding doesn't need attention.
Ooh.
Say more.
I think, as an agency, a marketing agency, we do a lot of branding to the customer, to the client, to the patient. And employers don't think often enough about their own brand to their potential talent and their existing talent.
Yeah.
So
they're probably leaning too heavily into their corporate brand.
Yeah. And they don't think about
assuming it'll speak for itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think that's people miss it. They don't want to spend money on it. They don't see the value. They think their culture is great. Everything, and there's always room for improvement. So that's one thing I think that people need to pay a little more attention to and invest some time and energy and money into.
I love it.
I agree.
Yeah. What about
Jamie?
That leaders will lead. That is a myth.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's a lot of people that become leaders simply for the opportunity to increase their compensation, their perceived authority, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're interested in clarity, alignment, development of others. And a lot of people expect their leader to offer them certain experiences and the leadership-employee relationship, and it's just a myth. I know that there are people out there who do it really well, but there's a whole lot of people that don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes time to mature as a leader. It takes effort. You know, the leaders that are good that I know have been doing it for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They intentionally read books about how to be a better leader. They have peer groups. They have mentors. They have all these tools that they use. They don't just say, well, I've got it figured out.
How about some emotional intelligence?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is that they invest and how do they continue to grow and develop themselves, and they take feedback from a number of sources and right, and do the work to be better at leading others, and they care about that. And I just think sometimes, depending on the environment, especially in immature companies that are growing and they have a certain number of individuals who are domain experts around whatever the topic is that they've built a business around, those individuals are like, I am leading because I'm the person that understands this product or this work better than anybody, not because I'm the best one to lead others. Mm-hmm. And we see that in small business after small business, but it happens in larger companies as well.
Yes.
I know it's rapid, so I'll be rapid with this story, but I had, back when I was in the corporate world, a national company, I got my first direct report, and I went to my boss, who was the VP of the marketing department, and said, hey, I'd like some training, some management, some leadership training so I can be the best I can for this guy. And he was shocked. He's like, what? No, that's why I put you in the role, because I know you can do it. And I was like, yeah, but I want to know like what the rights and wrongs. And so, but there was no, I mean, this is a company of thousands of employees, and there was no model for it.
And in the 90s, it was, have you read Who Moved My Cheese?
Yeah.
Have you read Fish? Does anybody remember Fish?
Yes.
I ended up in a Hampton Inn conference room at some management training, but I had my binder, I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll take it. I'll take any help I can get.
Absolutely.
So, and I think that, to your point, Jamie, I think a lot of new leaders need that nurturing. They need the support.
Desperately.
Yep. So, Molly, what about you? What is one workforce myth you want to kill?
Thanks for asking.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Mine is HR being responsible for turnover.
Oh. Clock it.
Mhm.
I mean, can we agree that once the person is gone through orientation, I'll even give HR responsibility up into day 15 of employment. But at that point, how often does HR talk to these people that have been invited to be a part of your team?
Yeah.
And they're responsible for turnover. I love that one.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Yeah.
They're responsible for turnover reporting.
Yes.
Trend analysis.
Yes.
Forecasting.
Yes.
Right?
Vacancy
Creating
reports. Yeah.
creating suggestions for how to affect the common reasons for turnover.
Yeah.
But even those are suggestions.
Right. Not responsible.
Do you think they can have some ownership in it if they're given some ownership in the culture, which they often aren't?
I would think that if HR is going to be responsible for turnover in some fashion, it needs to be percentaged out to ensure that those capabilities of those individuals within HR can actually manage what it is that they're being held accountable to. Let's say for policies and procedures, vacation, benefits. If that is impacting turnover in a fashion that is hugely responsible for why they can't keep people, then yes, I can see where HR could be percentaged responsible.
I used to say also that if it was, if somebody left within their first 6 months, it usually meant it was a hiring mistake or an onboarding one. Because most people start because they really want to do a good job.
Yes.
So I think HR does have some control over creating mechanisms for good onboarding and selection. But again, it's a shared responsibility even in those situations.
Yeah. All right. Next question. You want me to read it off?
Yep. You can go, Jason.
Okay. One leadership behavior that quietly destroys culture. Jamie, why don't you take that one first?
I think one of the biggest ones, I really struggled with this one because I felt like I had a top 10 list. But the one that I landed on was being outcomes focused over everything else, right? It's kind of like not realizing that you can just about ask, as long as it is legal, moral, and ethical, you can ask people on your teams to do just about anything, right? But there's a whole lot of times you should ask yourself whether or not you should, right? And I know that it might drive a better outcome, but so much of the outcomes only based thinking is so short term and creates bigger challenges past whatever it is that you're solving for in times of like extensive overtime or, hey, I need to do layoffs because this is what I need for my budget right now. Okay, but what does that mean for the challenge that you know typically comes 3 months from now?
Right.
Because that's when your peak is, or those kinds of things where you're not thinking beyond the now, the outcome that you're trying to drive right now. I think that that is probably one of the biggest things that they do that destroy culture because it also destroys trust.
Good one.
Yeah, I agree.
Molley, what about you?
Yeah.
Leadership behavior that quietly destroys culture.
Sarcasm.
Dang.
Whoops. Sorry, folks.
Watching sarcasm take place and you're trying to lighten the mood, right? You're trying to funny. But for the person that's receiving this information, it's not funny.
No.
And when you look at situations that passive aggressive, I don't want to have this difficult conversation comes off as sarcasm, there's people get confused and it's cloudy, and then your culture, it's just a ripple effect.
And some people are not very obvious in their sarcasm. So it's like, I can't tell whether or not you're being serious right now.
Yeah.
Is that really what you want me to do?
Yeah. And there's a dynamic between the manager and the one reporting to them that, you know, that person may not feel comfortable being sarcastic back or reacting to it because they're afraid, you know, they might be inappropriate with their boss.
And the power imbalance is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if and when they are, and then the leader is shocked that they were sarcastic back, you know, then fear of the reprimand that comes, right?
Yeah.
That could come. And that's not fair.
Right.
But I think it's an easy door that gets opened that kills culture.
Yeah.
Gosh, sarcasm. I'm writing this down because I feel like I need that reminder. And that's not sarcasm, just in case it's not coming across.
What about you, Jason?
Let it go, let it go.
Oh, I didn't know we were getting a Frozen reference today. That's amazing.
Not letting go. Like a lot of leaders say, I need you to do this, and then they don't let the person do it. They just want to own it or micromanage it all the way through. And there's a fine line between giving direction and, putting your arm in front of them and saying, move. And I'm personally guilty of that through the years. And that's kind of a mantra of mine this year is I'm going to let things go. And they're going to be fine. They're going to do it better than I did after the first couple tries, at least. So let them do it because they'll accept that behavior. A lot of employees will accept that behavior and say, "Okay, cool. I guess I don't have to do it." They're going to just, I'll get a draft ready and then they'll do the rest. So let it go. Let it go. Think about the big picture, macro, not micro.
I like it.
Looks like a lot of themes around getting out of short-term thinking.
And feel free to sing your next one as well.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, I'm going to ask a question of you, Miss Molley.
All right.
Good golly, Miss Molley. Is that the song I should have said right there?
Yeah. Go for it.
All right. This is perfect for the services that Incipio offers. What is one hiring mistake you see every week? Every week.
When someone makes a job offer and the job offer is accepted and then it's crickets.
What? Ghosting somebody who's accepted an offer?
No, the job offer's been extended, it's been accepted. Yay, joy. And now nothing.
Oh, until day one?
Until day one.
The radio silence between offer acceptance and day one.
Why do people think that silence is okay? Not everybody's getting ready.
I think it's because people don't know how to engage. So here's some ideas. Real quick, because this is also learning, right? Not just venting.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Ways that I've actually really enjoyed, because anytime I've extended an offer, it's because I cannot wait for this person to join my team.
Yeah.
Right? I've made videos where I've shown them guess what? This is what your desk is going to look like. And just texted it to them.
Yeah.
Or today, and there was a company I worked for where we had a cafeteria, and I'm like, today is my favorite because today we have the pizza pockets. Just showing them different things, or, hey, I'm walking into a meeting right now and it's going to be so much cooler when your voice is part of it. Anything that says,
that's right.
I want us to go ahead and build the rapport and the relationship so that we can talk to each other, I think is really powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Be careful. You're going to become responsible for culture with a great culture like that, Jane.
Well, on my team, I am.
Yeah.
I am responsible for culture.
You are.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
So that's
I'm not scared, is what I'm telling you, Jason. I'm not scared of being responsible for culture.
Scarred?
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm going to bow out of this one because I don't hire a lot. I mean, that's not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the peripheral.
Well, let it slide.
Well,
what about you?
Slide.
Well, I feel like I'm going to challenge you on that one, Jason.
There we go.
Because I feel like so much of what you guys offer in the employment branding, every day that you choose not to invest, and I'm just saying this for you, not to invest in letting people see what your company is like is a mistake. So every job that you post where you're relying on your job posting to tell your story versus intentional marketing or things like that, or...
That's a good point. That's a really good point. And one tactic we use with that is landing pages for each specific role.
Oh, that's cool.
So when we're driving people using advertising to the roles, we don't just send them to apply here.
Smart.
It's a page. Ideally, it's a page that would have maybe a video sitting at the top about that specific role, a testimonial from somebody who's doing
realistic job preview.
Yep. Some things to kind of checklist to get ready, get them excited like they've got the job, or they're imagine yourself in this role. Relist the role's responsibilities on the page. Make sure they understand what they're getting into. And then, and this is the key, and is a short form application, or, like a lead gen form. Don't make them fill 6 pages out as if, background. Just get the lead, make sure they're even interested in the first place, and then move to that next step. So not overwhelmed, re-educating them on what they're applying for, and then get the information. And then, great, you got a lead. Work it.
I would just like to highlight that Jason said he didn't have anything to offer. And he's like, let me give you a top 10 list of how people are really messing this up.
Yeah.
I love it because you got a lot to offer this. And people that work with you know that.
No.
All right, Jamie, you're next.
I put hiring quick versus hiring right. So, first of all, this challenge about the number of people who are qualified for the roles that you're posting and feeling like there's not enough qualified applicants is not going to get better.
No.
You can look at every population report in almost every single state that does not have a large influx of immigrants. And you can see that there are a number of places where your population is going down, which means that as you have these like specialized roles, you're going to have to continue to search and you're going to have to get real comfortable with it or reframe the job.
Yes.
So what I see way too often is people feeling so desperate for help that they're like, this person's like 50% of what I'm looking for. So I'm going to hire them. And then I'm going to spend a lot of time making them feel like they weren't the right hire.
Yeah, because it's their fault.
Terrible. That's terrible. Not, especially when you knew it. So if you do decide to make any kind of decision where you're hiring somebody because they are the best available, then you have to put together some sort of development plan or investment strategy of how you're going to help fill the gaps that you've decided to accept. And I don't see companies doing that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next question. Are we ready?
Ready.
Jason, a trend that you're bullish on?
Using AI as a starting point, not as the full solution to a problem or to replace a role. Using it as a tool and educating, providing the necessary resources instead of saying, well, you're going to use AI to do this. It should be a starting point. It should be a way to begin a conversation, to begin building a new process out, not the full solution.
I think
I love it for that.
To that point, if you don't have an AI policy yet, because there's still people who are like, I don't know how to use it. I don't know what's allowed. I don't know what work I'm allowed to do. I don't know what needs to be copywritten or how I reference this work. There's a lot of big questions that people have, and so they avoid using something that can make their life easier. It's worth taking the time to put together a policy to support people using that and feeling comfortable with it and being not shameful about saying, you're right, I got this from this tool, but here's what I've added to it and why I did.
Yeah, own it.
Yep.
Is that what you have to say?
To that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
but I do have a trend I'm bullish on as well, Molly.
Yeah.
And this is radical candor. So I know it's not a trend per se. Like you're not going to go out and see this as a hashtag item, but maybe it should be. Something I'm completely bullish on is people saying real words whenever things aren't going well or when things are going well or when somebody doesn't understand. And we have too many mechanisms in the workplace that keep people from doing it. We have people that over-index on optimism and under-index on what the real story is. So for me, it's just being really candid.
I like it.
And the recipient appreciates it.
I think so. I think adults like to have adult conversations. And they know when you're not.
Yeah.
So that's my take on that.
Yeah.
What about you, Molly?
So I had a hard time thinking of an answer. But my answer is to this and the next question. So sorry.
That's okay.
A trend that you're skeptical of. So a trend that I'm bullish on and a trend that I'm skeptical of, and it's AI recruiting. And here's why. Do you remember back in the day when you would call someone and it was an automated and you had to go through the thing and press one, and we still have to do that today. And you just look at the phone and say, I wish I just could talk to a human.
Yeah.
That's never going to go away. While AI and the tools that we have access to, if you know how to use them in the right way, if you know how to write the right prompts to support what it is that you're using AI for, in recruiting specifically, yes, it's a great tool. You can use it to help you get through the volume of talent faster, more efficiently. However, it still takes a human to look at things and have a conversation with someone to really discern if that person is the right fit. I'm not talking about knowledge, skills, and abilities. I'm talking about culture, environment, reward structure, assessment of the person, the emotional intelligence, because AI is going to tell you point blank what it is, in my opinion, which can serve a purpose, 100%. But if you don't know what that person is truly like, how do you truly know if they're going to fit? AI will never be able to do that for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And a thing that I'd like to offer everyone who's listening that you have to pay attention to is how you choose to use AI in hiring also may have some possibility of risk.
Oh.
So there are currently Supreme Court cases specifically around the use of AI because companies, regardless of what tools that you're using to sift through candidates, you're still responsible for the decision criteria on who's a pass and who's a fail at each step. So you need to be really comfortable with how your tool is making those decisions and being able to have some sort of mechanism where you're actually auditing whether or not that's what's happening. You own that. So you don't get out of it just because a tool made those decisions for you.
And that was a great segue, Molley, into the next question, which is the antithesis of the first question.
Yes.
Which is what's a trend you're skeptical on? And I'm going to also tag on to my previous answer and just say the trend I'm skeptical of is the opposite of what I said earlier, which is like using AI as the solution, especially at specific strategic things. You know? Like don't let AI is just currently large language models are really just a really good search engine. So they're going to go out and grab information, right or wrong, and you have to sift through it.
Yes.
We get documents from one client. We've gotten documents from one client or another that will just be fully AI. They didn't touch it. And then we get it and we have to say, what is this? This isn't relevant. We have to have that conversation. So team members have done it. I see competitors doing it and it's just icky. It's like, gosh, this isn't...
I saw a job posting the other day where it left some of the prompt language.
Stop it.
And the job posting.
Oh my
and you're
gosh.
like, I understand why you would do, especially for like common positions, I understand why you would use it as the starting point.
Yeah.
But if you can't identify why that role might be a smidge different for your company, are you the right person to write that job description? I don't know.
Yeah, I've gotten documents at the end, it'll say, would you like to see more options?
And you're like, that should have been cut.
What? Yes, I would like to see a different option, a real one.
The copy and paste effect in the chat is not what you should be using.
Yeah.
I actually captured the same thought, and it was just the AI replacement of some functions. I think there's a lot of value add in being able to do stuff. I think we've hit on that. But I think there's other places where human intervention is. It's the nuance that makes the difference between whether or not I'm working with humans. And I don't know. Maybe it's in the human resources title. It's important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Molley? You said the same thing?
AI recruiting. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. We're synced. We didn't even talk about that
even talk about that before.
Yeah.
Rapid fire.
Crazy.
All right. Next rapid fire question. What's keeping CEOs up at night?
I wrote talent availability. I feel like the conversations around whether or not people are going to have what it takes to do the work they know they have to do. Some of it comes down to whether or not you're even planning appropriately, because sometimes people are posting things in a reactive way rather than saying this is part of my strategy. But even whenever you have a strategy around it, doesn't automatically secure the talent that you're going to need. That if it's not keeping CEOs up at night, maybe it will now.
Yeah, it should be.
Good job, Jamie.
That CEO that was like, I sleep so soundly until now.
Because they listen to WTF. Jamie Swaim said, she scares me.
I was going to say market instability.
Agreed.
Across all markets. I mean, just the nature of the world right now is in upheaval. There's a lot of instability. We see it in first engagements with clients that they're just unsure if they should even spend this money. So they're very hyper aware of like they have to spend the money appropriately and be good stewards of the corporate pocketbook.
Absolutely.
They're nervous. They're nervous that they're not putting the money in the right places because we don't know what's coming next. And we never know what's coming next. But in times when things are stable, people are more comfortable and people are very uncomfortable right now.
It's chaos everywhere.
Yeah.
So not being able to even put previous things together from historical data, it's not even feasible to do that, in my opinion, for 3 to 6 months ahead of what we're supposed to be planning for from a strategy standpoint, because the data isn't relevant anymore.
Yeah. What about you, Molley?
I think that service levels multiple conversations I've had with key decision makers within organizations over the past 4 to 6 weeks, it's almost like they're having conversations with more people that work with them. And real direct conversation I had with a business owner, and he looked at me and he said, I don't know if some of the people in the positions that I have them in, now that we're really having to get down to granular details, if they're the people that I need in that role. So if I'm worried, are they delivering on the service level that I expect, that I hired them to deliver to? And shame on me. Am I not holding them accountable to the service level because I'm so worried about this thing because I thought I checked this box?
Yeah.
Man, that was a slap.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So Molley, I'm going to switch the side on this.
Yeah.
What should be keeping CEOs up at night?
Company culture. How does everybody feel on Sunday night before they go to bed and they're setting that alarm for the next day?
Absolutely.
Train wreck.
The fact that train wreck was the comment that came after that, are you assuming everybody's workplace is a train wreck?
No, just if you pay any attention to social media at all, the emotion that comes from post across the board, they may not be directly saying that they're displeased with their position, but
sure,
the anxiety that they feel to start a new work week. Maybe that's just in my feed on Sundays, but it's sad. I remember a time when it felt like, and maybe it's just the season of life that I'm in general and the position that I'm in and what I'm seeing, but people aren't excited about work anymore.
They're definitely not as loyal to it.
No, they're not.
I think that that's a big piece of it too. I mean, I have to the amount of heartbreak I have about things like people finding out via text message that they got laid off. Like,
that's not okay.
The expectation that people get excited about coming to work when you don't think anything more of them than to send a text. I mean, I don't know. What are you expecting? And so I think you're right. People are not highlighting enough how important it is to build an environment that focuses on how people treat each other and what it feels like to work there. I agree.
Yeah. What about you?
I had, am I doing enough to build and prepare a solid base for whatever the next thing is? So we talked about uncertainty in the market and the world. I think that's what should be keeping them up at night. I think they should be concerned that, are they doing enough? And probably the answer is no. None of us are.
Yeah.
We all should be doing a little bit more. Try things, test things. Don't be scared to spend a little budget on something new and try something new that may or may not work. If it doesn't work, great. You didn't, it's a test. That's what tests are for. So,
what is that saying? Don't be afraid to spend a nickel stepping over a quarter.
Don't trip over
spending a quarter.
I have no idea what's happening right now.
Step over a nickel.
Don't trip over dollars to pick up pennies.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's what it is. It had nothing to do with coins
or nickels.
Yeah, and pennies aren't even being minted anymore, so just don't worry about pennies.
I just feel like it's one of those sayings that this might be the last time anybody ever hears it, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard it here last.
The thing that I captured around what should be keeping you up at night is CEOs. I feel like we think about people in the context of their time in our company. And external factors at play are really affecting how well you're doing that. So things like how far the dollars you're paying people are going. Things like how the experiences their family members are having because of decisions that are being made in the world. There is a lot of really heavy stuff that is happening in our country. That even if it's not affecting people directly, the way that the social media channels go and the way these algorithms work, it just feels like there is a collective stress that is so much bigger than what it felt like 10 years ago. And you have to be thoughtful about that in terms of the stress that's inside your company, because the amount that people can take just feels like a different threshold. And I don't know that I'm giving great recommendations on that. I'm just saying that is something I'm definitely picking up on.
Be aware of it. Be aware of it and be sensitive to it.
Be sensitive to it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well, I think this was great.
Rapid. It was rapid.
It was Jim disagrees. Jim was like, that feels like that was really long.
Yeah. It was rampant, maybe, instead of rapid. A rampant therapy round.
It was definitely a therapy round, though. I feel better. I don't know about you guys. I got some things off my chest.
Well, to the audience, if you have particular opinions on those things, let us know. We want to hear about it.
Yes, absolutely.
Please do. We want to, and we can include it in a future episode.
Yeah.
So, all right, Jimmy, close that file.
Thanks for listening to the Workforce Therapy Files. We hope you learned something new, and we're thankful for the time that you spent with us today. If there's a topic you'd like us to discuss, reach out to us. Our contact information is listed in the show notes. Until next time, keep your head up.